obviously not the result that we wanted, what we worked for. But it's like I told our guys, you got, two things you can do from here. You can, bury your head and say, woe is me, and, hope people or feel sorry for yourself, or you can put your head down and keep working, get back in the gym, get better, and figure out what we need to do to win our next game. And I'm not a quitter. I know nobody feels sorry for me. I can tell you that right now. So all I do is open my email or social media or whatever. I can tell you that. So we need to get back to putting our head down, grinding, working to correct our mistakes so we're better in our next game.
Micah, it seemed like in the first half and a little bit into the second half, you weren't as, I don't want to say into the game, but as energetic as usual. Then there was a call that you talked to the ref about, and then you were kind of back to how you usually are, encouraging your team and everything like that. What changed for you, and why were you not as, I guess, into it in the first half?
I was pretty into it. Like, I don't know. I don't know. There was no, I didn't feel any different than normal, right? Like, I'm coaching our guys. I'm trying to help them be better. But no, I don't think there's anything to it.
Like 11 turnovers isn't a huge number, but 16 points off turnovers for you guys in that kind of game. How much did that hurt? And were they playing more aggressive defense than maybe you usually face, or were your guys making mistakes they usually don't make?
I thought we had some careless turnovers. That was the biggest thing. Like, they don't, that's who they are, that's how they play. In a possession game, which this is going to be, 11's too many. Right? You can't have that many. And we had some that were unforced. It wasn't anything that they were doing. We also had a lot of illegal screens and other things that they called that end up being turnovers. But we had some live ball turnovers, which we usually don't have. So we got to be better at that. We have live ball turnovers Saturday. We're going to get our doors blown off.
Micah, we didn't see Miles until I think less than 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Was that health or performance related or game plan?
That's my decision. How I wanted to try and rotate during this game.
Hey, Micah, 7 games left. I know coaches typically, tell their players themselves to just kind of keep it one game at a time. How do you find that balance between keeping that mantra while also, looking ahead to what could be there the postseason with a strong finish?
Yeah, no, we can't look ahead at all. We just have to focus on what's next. I think that's the biggest thing. That's what we've tried to do all year, is just really look at the next game, right? Because in this league, like, every single night is brutal. So you take your mind off the job at hand, you're not gonna get the job done. And that's what we need to do, right? We're not looking ahead. I'm looking at Maryland, right? I'm gonna watch this tonight, figure out what we can do to correct the mistakes that we had, what we did well, and then we got to get to this preparation for the next game, and that's it. That's what our total focus is.
Micah, on Monday you mentioned a lot about guys, this is it for them after this season. They need to kind of play like it. How do you feel like they responded from that standpoint?
I mean, I thought we played, we played hard, right? You can't ever question that, right? No matter if we're not playing, we might not be crisp, we might not be sharp, we might make errors at times, but guys are playing hard. We're competing, we're doing what we're supposed to do. So that's all I'm asking them to do, and I thought we did that. Now, I need to do a better job of making sure, we don't have these turnovers, making sure that we're scoring when we get those opportunities, what we need to do to get stops when we need to, so we're better in our next time.
Coach Kim put together a really good performance, 15 points, but 40 minutes tonight. Can you talk about his aggressiveness and his ability to just stay with it? He's been going through a bit of a rough stretch.
Yeah, they kind of in this game, and they talked about it after last game, of really staying on the perimeter. They were trying to take away our threes, right? So we needed somebody to be able to attack, to get into the paint, to give some points, and I thought he did that. He was aggressive. He got to the basket. He scored it in there, and we need him to continue to play that way, right? And that takes some of the pressure off of some of the other guys that we have. So I thought he was good. we need him to keep playing in that same way.
Micah, can you put your finger on what maybe not be going right defensively? This is a team that I think got to 68 in regulation once in Big Ten play. In the last couple games, it seems like that's been an issue. Is there a common theme there or just different things happening?
I thought tonight we didn't guard the dribble very well, right? I felt like in our rotations, you got to pick your poison, right? Like against a team like Wisconsin, they can score. They got two guys that can score in the post. They beat us up in the paint last game, so we doubled a little bit more. We weren't sharp or crisp in our rotations, so they got some early threes. But also in our rotations, we didn't guard the dribble. So when they did swing it out, they got to the rim, which we've been terrible keeping people away from the rim. So we have to be better guarding the drive, breaking down, closing out, keeping people out in the middle of the floor, and be better in that area. And then we just had a couple like timely mistakes defensively that like you can't give them up in a close game like this. You can't have these lapses, where they're getting big shots.
You mentioned earlier that Wisconsin did a good job of limiting your three-point shooting in the first half specifically. Did you feel good about the opportunities you were getting outside of the three? Because I know that's been kind of an issue in previous games.
Yeah, like when we didn't turn the ball over, I thought we were getting some pretty good stuff. I didn't feel like we moved as well as I wanted us to. Like I didn't think we were cutting at the speed that we needed to. How they guarded screens and everything else, like we weren't cutting hard enough, which allows them to be more physical on our cuts. Like, that's why, like I told them, was maybe I need to sub more so you guys can play at a faster pace. So people aren't allowed to just grab you and hold you and keep you from what you want to do.
Last question.
Micah, with Jalen, it seemed like he was able to get to the spots he usually gets to around the rim on those post-ups tonight, especially against the Siege, but some of those shots just weren't falling. How do you balance, like, sometimes they just don't go, and the other parts of the game that maybe you're not playing as well as you'd like?
He's carried us for a long time, so we got to continue to put him in the position to be successful. And 8 for 19, he had opportunities. He took 5 threes. I'm guessing the other 14 were all in the paint, all at the basket. And he's got to capitalize on those. He's got to shoot better in those percentages. Wisconsin's going to be physical. They're going to wall you up. They're going to get into you as you're trying to make your shot. You got to score through contact. You also got to be able to know how they also guard, right? If I hit the guy a couple of times, he's going to fall. Fouls against me. But I also can't be physical to try and draw a foul because I'd never go to the free throw line. So there's a balance between the two that he's fighting right now, or he's trying to figure out. And, it's on my job to help him. It's on my job to talk to some people and see what he needs to do so, he can get the same opportunity that some of the other people in this league get.